Michael Hirstreet was born in Staten Island, New Jersey on July 8, 1984. The son of Alan and Cecilia Hirstreet, he grew up with his sister Lauren in Greenbrook, New Jersey. Growing up, Michael loved music, movies, and the theater. He loved to sing and he loved to play pretend. He would record himself doing some skits that he made up himself just for fun. In middle school, Michael landed the lead role in the school production of Hamlet. This had a great impact on Michael's popularity, among the girls in particular at the school, but it had an even bigger impact on Michael's love for the theater.
I was a really rambunctious kid, always loud, screaming, and fun. I loved the performing arts. I lived for acting.
He fell in love with acting, and from this point on, he knew what he wanted to do when he grew up. In high school, Michael attended the Performing Arts program at Somerset County Vocational and Technical High School, and he also went to Watchung Hills Regional High School for his academic courses. It was around this time when, at the age of 15, Michael first experienced a violent headache while he was in school.
I'm Michael's sister. I'm Lauren. I'm 29 now, and when this happened, I was probably 11 years old, and I was by myself, took the dog out for a walk, and listened to the voicemail that comes on. It's a voicemail that we got from Michael's school that it was saying that we're taking him to the hospital, we can't reach any of you, please call us back. So I'm kind of panicking, I don't know what's going on. I try calling my mom, no one's answering, and then I get a call from one of my neighbors to say, come over, we have to, we want to tell you what's going on.
The school nurse, they told me that Michael was ill. They didn't know what was wrong with him, but they were taking him to the hospital. Will I meet them at the school? So I ran to the school and I met him. The ambulance was there. They were dressed like those space suits that they had in AT. It reminded me of that.
My wife first calling me in the office and saying that Michael is experiencing something.
So they got him to the hospital, and he was in extremely, a lot of pain.
Shortly thereafter, my wife calls me, very anxious in her voice, and says, Michael is bleeding on the brain. And I started to literally and go, what? And I started to scream, what's going on? And I was beside myself. I went upstairs to the floor where Michael was, and I didn't care who I bumped into, and I just couldn't wait to get to the room where Michael was. And Michael, always being mature than his age, looked at me. I said, how you doing, Michael? He says, I'm doing better than you are.
I just knew that he was okay, and that's kind of where I stood all the time. Every time he got sick, I just always heard the ending of the story, but I knew everything was, that everybody was with him and he's okay. And
a little later, the doctors came and they told me that he's had a brain bleed, and that it was caused by an AVM, which was a congenital defect on his brain. They explained that an AVM was like a birthmark that was formed of a cluster of vessels, abnormal vessels. And that's all we knew until later on, when the doctors came back and explained that Michael's was a grade 5, which means that it's really inoperable, that there was nothing that can be done. So I remember going through in the hospital with Michael, and he was there probably 10 days, and it was right before Christmas, and okay, we're going home. And I remember thinking how everybody was happy. Oh yeah, we're going home, he's better and all that. And I had this sadness about me, because I knew we were going home now, but he wasn't better.
Over the next 17 years, Michael experienced 14 brain bleeds. But fortunately, Since the bleeds always occurred in a relatively safe place of the brain, they had no adverse effects, and he was able to go to college. He went to Mason Gross School of the Arts at Rutgers University and studied for a year at the Shakespeare Globe in London. In 2015, Michael had 3 brain bleeds within a period of 2 weeks and underwent some aggressive treatment to minimize the chances of more occurrences.
I was in London and at the Globe Theatre, I had a bleed again. The whole world is upside down.
But after the 3rd surgery, he suffered a mild stroke, which left him with some weakness and aphasia, a communication disorder. Then, in 2016, Michael had a major brain bleed that put him in a coma and left him with major deficits. Michael has spent the last 20 months doing intensive therapy and learning how to walk again.
But when the last major bleed happened, when he was in a coma, that one was the most difficult. But yet again, he came out of it, and I got him. We went to rehab, and I made sure that I got him to walk with me every day when I got there.
He also lost the recollection of words, which he is struggling to gain back. His peripheral vision was impacted, and he has some cognitive deficits, as well as short-term memory loss. Presently, Michael no longer needs the wheelchair to get around, but his right side is still weak and spastic. One thing that has been in Michael's favor is his age. With brain injuries, the younger you are, the more chances you have to recover. The journey has definitely been long and hard, and while Michael is happy with the progress, there's always the lingering chance of another bleed which could put him back where he was, or even worse. Statistically, after the first bleed, the chances for another bleed increase 2% per year. Therefore, Michael's chances are now at about 36%. So, what is next for Michael?
So a couple of months ago, Michael went for a surgery again to see if there's anything that can be done in terms of minimizing the chance of another bleed. Again, we know that it couldn't be cured. Dr. Bernstein has been treating Michael for many years, ever since he got diagnosed. Dr. Bernstein said there was nothing else that can be done, but he told us about this doctor in Germany who he's worked with, and he's been doing really amazing work. We had a video conference with him, and he explained that in fact he can't cure it. So we decided we're gonna go for the surgery, and the question was, how confident are you that you can treat Michael, that you can cure Michael? And he just explained to us that there was no question that he can cure him. It was just a matter of how long it will take him. The surgery is not one surgery, done between maybe 2 to 4 surgeries, he said. Each surgery costs about 20 to 25,000 euros. We are praying that this will be it, that this only one time, because God is great. And I know we are sure that if he opened this door, this has been an answer to prayers for many, many years from many, many people. And I just want to say to all of you who want to help us, you are making yourselves the hands of God, because he's helping us through this and he's using you. And I just want Michael to have his life back. He's only 33 years old. I just want to help for you to know what you're doing. When you give us even $1, you are helping Michael to gain his life back, and you're allowing God to use you.
In California, I had another bleed, and it affected me. I couldn't walk. It took a toll on me. It took a lot of years, and I'm with a cane now, and I'm improving. In Germany, it's a hopeful thing. Please give, and I'm scared, but I'm hopeful.